One of our top stories now. The Hawks have confirmed that 4 dockets have been opened to investigate possible high treason. Hawks head Godfrey Lebeya says 4 complaints were received relating to misinformation about South Africa's Land Expropriation Act, among other issues. The complaints come on the back of a recent trip by AfriForum and other groups to meet White House officials over issues affecting Afrikaners. Let's speak to the MK Party's Nhlamulo. Nhlamulo, a very good evening to you. Thanks very much for your time. You initially laid your complaint of treason about 3 weeks ago or so. What has happened since?
Yes, no, thank you, Vuyo. We did open a case in the Western Cape, specifically Cape Town, for treason against the AfriForum, and this is based on the, as defined by South African law, the Righteous Assemblies Act 17 of 1956, which includes acts like instigating foreign intervention in internal affairs with intentions to harm the state. And this is exactly what has transpired here and what has unfolded based on the AfriForum's activities, which have caused harm to the state and the country.
But what have they said or done that makes it treasonous for you?
I've just unpacked. In terms of the law, they went and, in this case, solicited foreign intervention. And it's very clearly articulated in the prescripts of the law that if you, solicit foreign intervention that end up meddling or lead to the meddling of internal affairs, those activities then harm the state. Automatically, that falls within the prescripts of treason. AfriForum, in this case, went and misrepresented the facts pertaining to the expropriation bill, which then led to a situation that had constraints, dire constraints on the relationship with Africa. Whereas, such issues are supposed to be handled via proper diplomatic channels, which is what we would have expected. But in this case, AfriForum, what they've done is they have actually put the country in a situation with the U.S. that is treasonous based on their acts.
Well, of course, AfriForum is on record calling your claim rather absurd.
Well, we'll see the absurdity of it when the law catches up with them. But we're quite confident. And if you look at the activities and what also led to what has just happened a couple of days ago, where foreign aid has now been cut off the back of these calls by the AfriForum to punish the leadership and also, for instance, even with MK party leaders, and misrepresenting the facts as it pertains to the preparation bill that led to these executive orders. So we can't take such things lightly. The AfriForum, we know, is just a grouping that represents a few races, and they are no different to being renegades that are very similar to, in this case, AWB and the likes of those kind of institutions. If we look at Caligrio Quadamensi today, he's no different to a Eugene Terblanche. And this is what these people represent. They don't represent unity whatsoever, and we need to call them out. We can't afford to have institutions and organizations such as this, and we don't even understand if they still actually meet the real requirements of why they actually even formed this so-called AfriForum in the first place. Because they're not here for unity. They want to take us back to apartheid, and we're not going to allow that. We can't allow AfriForum to continue doing what they're doing and the kind of acts that they're doing. And also something to also note, you look at the Freedom Front Plus, who says that they, in effect, condone and commend AfriForum for what they're doing. This is the GNU government that now we have. We have a minister, effectively, that's in support of treason against the state. So a party that is supporting treason acts is part of this so-called GNU of Ramaphosa. And then, we then call this a government of national unity. Is this really unity? No.
How watertight do you think your case is, or is it a question of throw off the dice and then see what happens?
Look, it's not a throw of the dice. We're going to be assisting the police in this case. So I'll share the following with you. When we opened up the case locally in Cape Town, immediately, whilst we were busy engaging with the police there, the Hawks intervened and they walked into the office. just to show you the veracity and the seriousness of this case. And we then obviously had to share the affidavit with them, and they said that this is a national priority case, and they took it upon themselves to say it's not going to be handled by the Western Cape, it's going to be handled specifically at national. As of 4 days ago, we've also received the person who's going to be allocated this case. In this case is Mr. Malan, who's going to oversee this case. And from what we've submitted, and also what we also have, which will assist, is very damning information that should lead to the arrest of all the members, of all the directors of AfriForum.
Nhlamulo, Ndhlela, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it.